1890s, so I'm fourth generation Japanese American. And if the Japanese had been brought over without African Americans coming first, the Japanese would have come over as slaves, working for the white man. Now, the interesting thing about my life is that I went to school in a little town called Hilo, Hawaii. There was one main street. On one street was a school for all the Asian kids, Filipinos, Chinese, Japanese. On the other side of the street was the school for the guys that owned the plantations, the former slave owners. So these were white kids. And just because of the way the line was divided, Rich Dad's son and I went to the school with the white kids. And that's where I started to realize there was something wrong. I'm 9 years old going, something's wrong here. You know, something's wrong. And so that's when I, at 9 years old, raised my hand and I asked my teacher, a white woman, and I said, what am I going to learn about money? And she says, you're never going to learn about money in school. So I said, why am I here? That makes sense, you guys? She says, well, if you stay in school, then you'll get rich. And that's a bunch of BS. You know how I knew it was BS? My whole family was school teachers. My father was a PhD. Most of my uncles had their master's degrees. Like I said, they're all valedictorians. They're all school teachers. And guess what? They're all broke. So when the teacher said to me, a white woman says, you're going to stay in school and get rich, I said, you're lying to me. And that's when I went to look for my rich dad. So that's kind of how I'm standing here today. When I was 9 years old, maybe 60 years ago, I'm going, something's wrong. And then I started to figure it out. So I started talking to my grandfather. And I found out the plantation system, because they brought them over there to Hawaii in the 1890s, 1880s. And the system was this. Instead of being slaves, they came over as indentured servants, paid slaves. So they come here, they get a job on the plantation. Let's say they pay them $1 a day, which was high pay. At the end of the month, they had nothing. That was the plan. And the reason they had nothing is when they put them on the plantation, they put them up in plantation housing. And they charged them for the house. And since there was so remote, they only had one store, was the company store. So what would happen is my ancestors, the Japanese, would come in there and they'd work really hard, very, very good, hard-working people. And they get their $1 a day. But then when they went to collect, they didn't have checks in those, they had little envelopes they put money in. And they go back there and the envelope, there's nothing in it. Well, a couple of bucks after 28 days of work. And the reason was nothing there was because they took it out for the house and they took it out for the food, the store. And nothing has changed. The reason the middle class is going broke is they work really hard. The money is already pulled out before they even get it. Wow. So the reason I'm glad you guys are here is it's time to take control of your life. No, don't be paid slaves anymore. And like Lincoln, Emancipation Proclamation, your job is to set other slaves free. So for me, it's not about how much money I have. I have plenty of money. Making money is pretty easy. But I come to you today to assist you, ask you to assist us setting more slaves free. Today they don't work for people don't work for plantations, they work for corporations. They work for companies like Coca-Cola. IBM, Xerox, Google, Apple. Nothing wrong with that. It's still a paying slave. At the same time, the Federal Reserve Bank has printed $5 trillion in the last 5 years. Why in the hell would you work for money when they're printing money? You may laugh about it, but look, how frickin' stupid are the American people? How can you sit there and let the Federal Reserve Bank print trillions of dollars, and then you go to school and they tell you, work hard and save money? Why the hell would you work for money when they're printing it? You know how stupid that is? Your job is to print your own money. So that's all Rich Dad taught me. When I was a young boy, 9 or 10 years old, he says, learn to print your own money, then the white guy will work for you. Does that sound better? Hello?
Yeah.
See, if you have money, the banker will kiss your butt. If you don't have money, you have to kiss his butt. How many people are tired of kissing butt?
Sam Harder, Kelly. Sam Harder.